Recruiter here, the headless headhunter, getting you ahead of your job search by reviewing your resume. The resume we have up first is a data analyst. So this person has deeply struggled to get any job, so this is an absolutely horrible resume, but they submitted me an updated version after following my advice, so we're going to review the old one first and then see how it's improved. So what we're looking for is in a data analyst is degree, industry, SQL, data visualization, Tableau, Power BI, Looker, stakeholders, explaining technical concepts to non-technical stakeholders, how you solved a problem with data, not what the data is, MS Excel, macros, pivot tables, VLOOKUP, Word, Python, R, multiple projects and deadlines, and a bonus for cloud. So can I find that in 20 seconds? That is how long recruiters have to look at your resume. Anything past that, we don't have the time. I wish we did. World would be a better place if we had enough time to look at resumes longer than 20 seconds. So, go. All right. Nothing here I really care about. Python accept is good. Collaborated. What do you mean collaborated? How do you do it? That's not what I'm really looking for. Again, that's SAP, Power BI monitoring, Power Dashboards. Okay, so here's why this does not work. Okay? People think we're looking for keywords. If it were keywords, I'd be able to maybe move forward with this resume. The problem is I'm not looking for keywords. I'm looking for qualifications. And what a qualification is in a job or education. It could be education. Education could be a qualification, but it could be a job, a project, or an internship. So it has to be under one of those unless it's education or a cert. And you need to tell me what you did, which this person did, how you did it, which they kind of did, and the reason and result of you doing it, which they did not. And that's why this one does not work. So they did not really give me a good reason for it. Like this, I don't know why you did an inventory reduction initiative. Why did you collaborate with them? Why was it important to define KPIs? Which again is not something I'd be looking for. Why is it... Actually, this is a good sentence. This one's actually good. So I don't care about the 1 million, but this is close to good. So let's look at what they wrote to me, but I would have probably rejected this. I recently moved to Austin, Texas. My current job has given me until March to find a new job. In the meantime, it's letting me work remotely. I would love to get a role as a higher level analyst or a data scientist. I understand that my resume will be different if I'm looking for a data scientist. Correct? Good. I've applied to well over 150 jobs and have gotten nothing from anyone. Not really sure what's missing. So while you don't have most of what I wanted, I will say this is not like the worst resume ever, delete it forever abomination. Is your phone number right? Because there are people that forget to put their phone number and email correctly. The amount of times that I have found a resume that does work and I have sent them an email and that email bounced and then I give them a call and that call goes directly to voicemail that is full, much more than you would think. So triple check that that's actually working first. Let's see. I have a website that I built if you like to check it out. Really basic. Thought it would help, but it doesn't at all. Yeah, no one's going to click on that. And no one's responded at all. I really appreciate you taking your time to review it. So this is the old one. Let's see the new one, which is formatted worse, but it looks probably a little bit better on what I actually need. So let's look at what the newer version is, which is used Python, SQL, and Excel, VLOOKUP, Power Table, rollout interactive Power BI dashboards, highlighting real-time saving opportunities. Okay, so this is fantastic. This is exactly how I want you to start it off. The problem is this one, right? So I understand where you're going for, but why does it matter to highlight real-time saving opportunities? Why was that important? This is something where you could say like for stakeholders or something, right? But the thing is, I still want to know why this was important. And that's the thing is, I don't know why that's important. The first part of the sentence is good, though, and that's exactly how I want you to write it. Also, I need you to use better formatting. This is how I want you to write your resume. Again, this is on my website. The link is below as well. This is what your resume should look like. This is how you do it. This looks ugly, but is exactly what recruiters want to move you forward and hiring managers. But your content in this is much better. Your formatting is slightly better in this one. But, again, I will always take content over formatting any day of the week. So, created executive level KPI focused dashboards. Again, you already mentioned Power BI dashboards here. And I don't know why the KPI is as relevant. You keep mentioning KPIs. I don't know if that's as relevant as you think it is. Again, the number doesn't matter. I just need to see non-technical stakeholders. But again, using DAX, not needed. Power Query, probably not needed. MS Office is needed. SharePoint, maybe, and PowerPoint. But again, you don't tell me, you're too broad, right? This is your problem. You're closer in this one than you were in the previous one, okay? This is better than the last one, I will say, much better. But part of the thing is you're still sort of implying about what you did. You're not directly stating it. Like, what was the point of opportunities? I don't know. You also did not explain complex topics. So you can't just say non-technical stakeholders. Again, I'm not looking for keywords. If I was, this would work. I want you to say explained how to use Power BI dashboards to our non-technical stakeholders so that they could, and then you could put like MS Office and PowerPoint, so that they could identify other opportunities for the company to make money. Or it's not just so that allowed them to identify money-making opportunities they would have missed, right? That's how I want you to write it. Created Power BI dashboards and explained how to use them to non-technical stakeholders that allowed them to find profit opportunities they otherwise would have missed. That is how you explain what you did, how you did, and the reason and result. Not to further identify opportunities or highlighting real-time saving and pricing anomalies. That doesn't tell me how or why. Well, it doesn't tell me why. So that's what I need. Is the reason you did it or the result of you doing it. And that is how you write that. So this one is great. Actually, this is one of your best sentences, right? Coordinated with managers. That's fine. Using Agile Scrum methodologies. That is something I would probably need. To track progress and ensure successful project completion across 4 concurrent initiatives. Meeting all deadlines. So, okay, you know what? I'm going to restate that. That is well written. The problem is, I don't know if that contains anything I'm actually looking for. Maybe Agile and Scrum. It's not on the list. It might be there. It might be rare, but it might actually be something I could use. So that I want you to take these, okay, and combine it with how you wrote this sentence. So if you combined these qualifications, or I guess these keywords, if you want to call them that, which they're not, with how you wrote it here, you will be getting more jobs. Although you mentioned Python like 80 times already. So yeah, that's your problem with your resume. Again, it's not trash. It's not delete this on site. It's not the worst I've ever seen. But you're not correctly explaining the reason or result of you doing stuff. And then when you do explain the how you did it and the reason and result, you don't actually show me the qualifications that I was looking for, like in this sentence. So it's what, which is the qualification, how, and the reason or result of doing it. So fix your formatting, make that changes, and then come January, you should be getting a lot more interviews. I will say, because right now it is I'm recording this on November, and in the 3rd week of November until the 2nd week of January, recruitment slows to an absolute crawl. Does not matter how good your resume is, you probably won't get an interview anyway. It happens literally every single year, year over year. It's normal, it's common, don't panic. It seriously happens every single year. But the plus side to that is, on the 2nd week of January until the end of March, biggest job boom of the year. If you're going to get a job, it's probably going to be in Q1 of that year. So let's go to the next resume. But before we do, thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Share it with your friends that need help looking for a job. The more of us that are come together, the more people that I can help get a job. If you ever need more help, you can always join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. That is where I get these qualifications from and help people out a little bit more. Now let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a software engineer intern. What we're looking for in a software engineer intern, again, very basic. Every single intern massively overcomplicates their resume to the point where it actually hurts their chances. We're just looking for your degree, right? A basic knowledge of the thing that you're interning for. So in this case, it would be for software engineering, like maybe Python or Java, and then maybe Django or Spring, along with SQL Cloud, that kind of stuff, maybe CI/CD. So very, very little stuff. I don't need a ton of stuff about it. And the ability to work well with other and take direction and criticism. Those are critical. I do think this person is in the EU. I think they said in a quick note. I read a little bit of it. So this might be slightly different in the EU, but I don't think it is. So from what I could tell, it's mostly the same. But anyway, I am a US-based recruiter, so sometimes that does not go outside the US. But this person completely docks themselves, so I cannot scroll past this page. But let's see if I can find what I need in 20 seconds, which is all the time we have. And go. Don't care. Too much. Okay, Python, AWS, Redis, and Docker. YC prepared startup is actually kind of good. The rest of this is not good. 3 plus async profile latency. Stop writing it like this. Nothing. Oh, actually really like that bullet point. Okay, so this is really hard to read. But you said a 1 in 50, but the fact that you dox yourself means I don't know if I can trust that. But again, formatting is only part of the battle. I would rather better bullet points than better formatting. And you actually have 2 really strong bullet points. So first off, don't need this, right? Doesn't matter. Second off, this should be 1 line. This should be 1 line. This should be deleted. Your resume needs to look like this. Stop with all the bolding. None of this should be bolded. There should not be an underline under this. But when we go down here, right, this is actually well written. You say Python, AWS, Redis, and Docker. You say production-ready microservices infrastructure, which also tells me what you do. And you mentioned that it is a YC preparing startup, which is pretty good for that. I work with a lot of startups. And then designed a scalable and fault-tolerant backend system. Nothing here. I actually need the languages you put here. But this is really well put together as a bullet point. Drove tech roadmap and system design, collaborating daily with founders and leading architectural decisions in a zero legacy, high autonomy context. I wish you were a little more specific, like instead of collaborating, just say working with. But the fact that you were working with them daily does sort of improve that you can take direction and criticism. So that actually is how I would like to write that. Built a full backend API architecture, great, from scratch using Django, PostgreSQL, Docker, powering production really platforms. Like, again, perfect, tells me what you do. Your big problem is that this is a bad bullet point and that your formatting is bad. But if you literally fix the bullet points, you will probably have like a 1 in 20, 1 in 15. The formatting. You actually, like I said, these are good bullet points, right? Like I tell about like, oh, you need better bullet points. These are really good. I actually like these, except for the one I highlighted. But still, like, not everything needs to be a winner. But this is great, right? Tells me great. I would like that Python was up first instead, so used Python, AWS, Redis, and Docker, and then the rest of this. I like that you tell me that you collaborated, or in this case, worked daily with the founders and in architectural decisions, because that tells me you can take direction and criticism. Then down here, it tells me more about what you did specifically. So yeah, these are really good bullet points. You should be proud of yourself. This primary issue is just that it's bad formatting. Fix your formatting and take out that one sentence or replace it with a little bit more context, and you should have no issues. Very good bullet points. Take note, everybody. So, except for the one I highlighted, next resume. This is another software engineer intern. So this person has a worse ratio. This is 1 in 100. So we can directly compare them to each other, which I think is great. I also think it's funny that usually when I do these comparisons, the first one in the sequence of X job title is usually better. So I'm expecting this one to be worse than the previous one. And then I will read their note, which may change my opinion on this. But let's go and begin. Okay, don't care about that. Don't care about that. I mean, blockchain is specific, so maybe. AWS is good, although the Dynamo kind of ruins it. Nothing else. This is actually pretty solid because I showed you can work well with others. AI cursor is nice. I still need the basics. It's not really a good resume. All right. Yeah, this is probably going to be a rejection unless this was a specific like AI software engineer intern role. You had an okay one about working together, but yeah, this would probably be a rejection. Not the worst, which again is what a 1 in 100 is. So that's not good. Not good, but could be a lot worse. So you said I got a couple of interviews, but they've been from referrals. Okay, that makes sense because this is not the perfect resume. I got one interview so far from applying to 100 internships, which was cryptocurrency related. Yeah, that's actually exactly what I was expecting, is you have entirely crypto, right? The only things that are relevant to an internship is the basic things that you would need. In this case, the only thing that's basic that you would need besides AWS is crypto stuff. You mentioned blockchain. So the fact that you got a crypto internship is because the only thing that you mentioned is blockchain. You need to mention the actual things we need, like the previous person did, like Python, AWS. Again, he put AWS, just pure, or she, not AWS DynamoDB, because if Java is different than JavaScript, then AWS could be different than AWS DynamoDB. Although I'm expecting it is just AWS and not AWS DynamoDB, and you forgot a comma, but whatever. So you need to redo this, because if you're looking for any general level software engineering internships, which you say you are, you're not going to get them with this resume because it's entirely crypto. Now, that doesn't mean you can't get them, but you need to lay back on the crypto, because the only people that care about crypto are crypto people. That's it. Y'all are in your own little teeny corner that you super care about crypto. Everybody else is like, no. So you need to actually put the stuff I need. Look at the last resume. The way he wrote or she wrote those first and third bullet points is how I need you to write it. Like, here's the thing. I don't even know what software you're going for. Is there any Python? Is there Java? Is there .NET? I don't know. You didn't tell me. Where is any type of Django or Spring or SQL? Or I don't see that. Oh, here it is. No one's going to get this far down, though. Where is any type of SQL, that in the first one at least? Where is JavaScript or HTML or CSS? The fact is, you're not showing that you are a software engineer. You're showing that you're a crypto engineer. So I need you to redo this, because I don't care about these percentages. I care about the actual basic tech stack, which you don't show. The language, the library, the SQL, and cloud. So I need, you know what? I will say AI cursor, probably should keep, those are hot right now, but I need to see that. I also think that this one right here is an okay bullet point, but could be better, right? Asked to present and document the algorithm to 40 plus data engineer scientists by the senior director of data. That actually shows that you can take direction, but it doesn't really show that you can take criticism. But it kind of shows that you can work well with others, right? I want a little bit more, right? I want you to say, like, met personally with multiple engineers to take direction and documentation that they gave me as on our algorithm as designed by our senior director of data. That is how I would like you to write that. But right now, this just shows me that you're good at crypto and nothing else. Let's go to the next resume. This is another software engineer intern. The next one after this is not, though, so don't worry. 3 in a row, though. This way we can at least compare. So this person said they have maybe a 1 in 50. I don't know if this is right. I actually don't think this is correct. They say they have... Normally I try to do the review first, but I already saw this. They apply to around 3 to 4 internships a day. That's not going to be enough. Very rarely do I get interviews. Okay, so I don't think their ratio is actually correct. So let's see if I can find what I need as an intern. Y'all should know it by now. And go. My gosh, I hate this formatting. Okay, that's a problem. Mobile application is good. Good that you described it. I still need to know the actual content. API is fine. Nothing else, really. React front end. Okay. Right. So, oh man, is this better than the previous one? Probably. This is better than the crypto one. Not better than the first one we reviewed, which was the second resume. So, I guess if I would rank those 3 internships, it would be the first resume. The first intern we saw was the best one. This is the second best. The one previously was the worst. Although this one is not great. So first off, I'm going to need you to Control A and Control B twice, because this is a nightmare to read. You don't. I hate all of this. This is a nightmare. This is how you get rejected. So first off, this should be 1 line. Not bolded, 1 line. Follow this direction. I'm not going to go to the rest of formatting. This would take too long if I did that. So follow this, because you can tell this looks way different than this. You don't need a skill section, but what you do need is to put this stuff here. All right? You cannot ignore this. Where is your Python? fact, I'm going to look for this. That's it. The only place you put Python is here. That means you don't have it. Can't use it. Nope. This is why skill sections don't work. I hate skill sections, and managers do too. So C++. Where is C++? Again, you're showing me here, but you don't show me the context of how you used it and the reason and result. So I need more stuff. Here is actually, there we go. Oh, developed a browser simulation program all the way down here in C++ with back and forward navigation. This is where I want you to use it. This is correct. Why do you have to go all the way down here until I find a single relevant thing? So you need to redo this whole resume, right? Like, it's still better because at least I can find a little bit, but you can't just put your qualifications here. It does not work. It's garbage. It does not work. And I need you to tell me how you work together as a team. Because you don't tell me. You also don't tell me how you were took direction and criticism. Your only saving grace is that you do actually have some of these qualifications here, like API and UI and where did Node.js. It's just in React over here. But this is a nightmare. Don't ever write your resume like this. Oh, okay. So again, my ranking doesn't change, but you have done so much to hurt your chances. So I need you to redo all of this, okay? I need you to redo it. I need you to make it in a format that's easy to read. I need you to make it I need you to make your bullet points just basic, right? Used Python, Java, and SQL in an AWS environment. Boom. All right? Worked with RESTful APIs to create X and Y. And then how you work together as a team, because you don't show that you can do that. Maybe the hackathon can, right? Like, this is good. The problem is this is way too far down and no one's going to do that. No one's going to look through this wall of text. Your resume needs to be like this. So that's all I can do for this, because looking at this gives me a headache. Let's go to the next resume. This is a data scientist, which has a different qualification list than a data analyst. So for data scientist, we need degree, Python, R, SQL, data in all its forms. So like modeling, analytics, maybe data lake as well. Industry, again, very specific industries are going to have very specific qualifications that I'm not able to get, as this is a broad spectrum review. Explaining stuff to non-technical folk, my goodness, you need this. This is the most important part. If you're in almost any type of tech, please write how you explain complex technical details to non-technical people. Not just what I said. You need to tell me how and show me how. But that will get you a job. Like, that is missing from so many resumes. Influencing stakeholders, cross-functional, cloud, Microsoft Office apps, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Google Sheets, some AI, so Spark, Skibbity-Learn, LLM, that kind of stuff, data dashboards and data visualization, so Tableau, Power BI, and ETL. I'm not sure why this is getting cut off slightly, but it's, yeah, whatever. So, 20 seconds, let's go. Boom. Can't use anything here. Where's your education? All right, you did graduate. Okay. Cognition systems, NLP, API is good. That's close to it, though. ETL, yes, good. Python, then Power BI is okay. And that's it. So I did not find enough stuff in enough time, so you would be rejected. If you want to know exactly why your education it should be at the top, it's the exact reason you just saw. Did not see it here, had to scroll all the way down, did find it, took about 7 to 8 seconds out of the 20 seconds I had, then scrolled up and went back to here. So that's why your education needs to be up at the top, is so I can see that quickly. Even if you've graduated 20 years ago, put it up top. You don't have to tell me when you graduated. You don't have to tell me graduated in 1920 or whatever. You do have to tell me that you did graduate. So just say status graduated if it's been a while. But I do need to see it, and that's why it needs to be up top. So is this resume good? Honestly, it's not the worst. I don't think it's great, but it's not the worst I've ever seen. A big issue is the formatting here, which is taking time away. And then, again, you focus so heavily on the AI. But let's see what you wrote to me. I've been applying to close to 100 apps, and I hadn't gotten my first interview until recently, but I kind of screwed it up. It's okay. Everybody screws up interviews. That's why my goal is to get you more than one every month. So the goal should be to have an interview a week. That is the goal. That is why I tell people that you need to apply to 50 apps a week, because if on average 50 apps equal one interview, you will be getting one interview a week, and that way you should be able to get a job. So I need desperate help when it comes to getting my resume straight and hopefully better insights on a better resume. So yeah, couple of things here. One, I just said you need to apply to 50 jobs a week. I don't think you've been doing that. I think you've been applying very little jobs. So you're probably going to have to up the amount of application ratio you have. But you need to fix this resume. Again, like, all this bolding makes it so bad to read. There's a reason this is bolded, and this is bolded. The reason nothing else is bolded is because it takes time away. Your work experience should fit into this one line. Again, my guide on my website that is free shows you how to do this. You need to format your resume correctly because this is hard to read. Now, here, bad bullet point. This, though, is okay, right? Automated an ETL pipeline for personal Spotify data using Python integrated within Power BI's Power Query. I don't know if I need all of that. I don't know if I need Power Query. Is Power Query one of my words I'm looking for? I don't think so, so I would not need it. But this is fine, right? The problem is the rest of this is bad. I need to know the reason you did this. Like, why is it developed a robust star schema data model? Who cares about star schema? Nobody's asking for star schema or whatever. And authorized advanced DAX measures. Why does DAX keep coming up today? I've not seen it before today. It's not relevant. For time series and comparative KPIs. That doesn't tell me why it was useful. Right? Like, automated ETL pipeline for personal Spotify data using Python integrated within Power BI. Good. Why? What's the reason you did that? What's the result of you doing that? You do not tell me. Enabled full service parameter dashboards. Again, I need data visualization dashboards. So, like, I want you to really take a look at how people write these and how the other people wrote these, because, like, this is why you're struggling. Also, you may, in fact, be an international, which is going to really tank your chances. But even not counting that, this is a terrible resume. You focus on unitary toxic BERT. No one's going to look for that, right? This is why you need to focus on what's in the actual job description. The actual job description is going to say this. This is what they're looking for, at least in the US. This is it. If it's not this, it's probably irrelevant. And you can find it yourself, too. You can compare your own personal list to this. You can take about 10 to 15 good job descriptions, because quite frankly, not all job descriptions are good. Some are terrible, that show you the qualifications. You take those and make an aggregate list of what is in the qualifications. And it should be about 75% of this. But no one's asking for toxic BERT. I don't know what Bert did and why he's toxic, but we don't care about that here, right? And here, 25% toxic. No one cares, right? So what you've done may have been very impressive. Again, the problem is you're trying to impress me, because every single person is lying to you when they say, you need to impress me. You need to show me how great and amazing you. We don't. I just need to show how you did it and what you did, how you did it, and the reason and result of you doing it. That's how you get a job. So that's all I can do for this one. Thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Share it with your friends if they need help searching for a job. I'm here to help anybody. And if you ever need more help, you can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST. And if you watch about 3 to 5 of them in a row, you get a resume skip. So that's, again, all free. I'm here to help you all get ahead of your job search. I'll see you in the next video.